Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and in this video we're going to break down the Shark SKWAL 2 available at RevZilla.com. So what we're seeing on the table in front of me is an update to the Shark SKWAL. The Shark SKWAL 1 is over here on my left-hand side, and we're going to walk through the differences that you're going to see. But before we do that, let's just talk about the basic features, most of which haven't changed. So it's still going to be a thermoplastic shell, still just one shell size. Sizes will range from small up to extra large, and that's one of the nitpicks that we had with the first one, and it's going to continue to be one of the nitpicks that we have here. We would love to see some larger sizes available for people with giant noggins out there, because extra large is as large as you're going to get with this particular lid. DOT rated 3 pounds 11 ounces. Now, it is going to be 2 ounces heavier than the old one in a medium. So when we threw this on the scale, that was what we found out. And a lot of that has to do with the way they've revised the lighting on this. So really no surprises there. They've also added this spoiler on the back, which attributes to some of the weight. Now the size, or the shape rather, on the inside hasn't changed, which we actually really like. It's an intermediate oval head shape, a little bit longer front to back, narrower down the side of the head, and it's going to work for the majority of riders out there in the American market. Now let's break down some of the changes that we're going to see for the SKWAL 2. So starting with the lights, that's the big thing with the SKWAL. This is a light up helmet. You've got lights that illuminate at the top, down at the chin bar, and then if I spin this around, you're going to notice that they light up at the back as well. Now the main change that we're going to see with the lights is that they're just larger in size. So you get more illumination, if you will. This is the Shark 1, and if I turn those on, you can see a much smaller light profile at the top vent, much smaller light profile at the back, or at the bottom on this, and then turning them around again, same thing, very larger profile on that new spoiler on the back of the helmet. Now, if you hit that button one more time, you actually send them into a little bit of a blinking mode, so you have that kind of a hazard feature. So if you're on the side of the road at night and you're doing, what you need to do to, fix your bike, or you're waiting for somebody to catch up or whatever, you can turn that to the hazard feature, and that just allows them to blink. So larger lights, that's the first thing. Now if we turn these helmets sideways like we just had them, you will notice you now have a larger aerodynamic profile. So the helmet gets this larger spoiler off the back, and you're also going to notice that down at the base, you've got this spoiler at the bottom of the helmet as well. That's the other addition that we're going to see here. So those are the two main changes that you're going to see from the SKWAL 1 to the SKWAL 2. Now, a few other little features that we're going to work through have been adjusted as well, but really those are your two main pieces. So from the front to the back as we work through this, the vent on the front, the vent on the top, size has been reduced a little bit to accommodate the larger light profile. So just keep that in mind. The other thing we're going to see here is that the face shield is going to include the Pinlock insert, as well as it's going to be Pinlock ready, so that's going to be the same as the other one. The drop-down sun visor is the same as we've seen before, and what I really like about this one is they did a good job of hiding the actuator. The actuator is actually just built into the side profile of the face shield itself, where that little connection point is. Now, to get the face shield on and off, really all you do is you simply pull out. So it's one of the easier face shields that we've seen. You just grab around, you pull that out, and then to get it back on, you simply line that up, and then it just snaps right back into place. So there's really no complicated mechanisms that you need to mess with, and that's one of the things that we did like from the Shark SKWAL 1. So moving around to the back again, you have that more aerodynamic profile, a little bit of a sportier look to the helmet itself, but I want to dive inside for a second. So they did a better job of hiding the plastic tab on this one. It's a little bit more, or the plug to charge, the charging plug, but it's still a big bulky plastic housing on this, and I think they could make it a lot smaller, which would help to lead to the comfort of that. The other nitpick that we have is that the button to actually turn the lights on is just hard to get to. It was harder to get to on the other one. They haven't really changed anything there. So this is something, again, that we'd love to see changed. Even if they just move it up to the side of the helmet and they had like a little toggle switch so you could actually slide it forward to go all the way on, slide it backwards to go to hazard, would probably just be a little bit easier to use than trying to find this button with gloves towards the back of the helmet. Pulling the inside out. Moisture wicking liner. One of the things that I really liked about the first one is that the liner is extremely comfortable, so no surprises there. It's the same liner, same comfort. That nice bright blue design has not changed. And then as you pull this out again, you can see the way that they've worked that cable down around the side. So it does hide pretty well back there, so you don't feel it pressuring against your head. It's just that final plug-in part that I think they could have made a little bit smaller. Nice contour to the cheek pad. Again, nothing's really changed with that. The other thing you'll note is that there's speaker pockets in there. So if you do want to run a comm system, you have the little indentations, little cutouts for the speaker pockets. And then pulling out the rest of the liner, you do have the chin curtain. One of the things that I really thought was pretty cool about this is that while it's not really, you know, an aggressive sport helmet, they've kind of moved that way with the aerodynamic design. You can use it in a wide variety of motorcycles, but it does feel like it's nice and tight around the chin bar, or around the face. You can see how encompassing those cheek pads are. It moves all the way around to the back of the head in one piece, so it really feels like it's kind of blocking the air from coming up around the base, which helps to cut down on noise. As we pull out the rest of this, you have a brow mount at the top, so you don't have any snaps pushing into the forehead, so it actually goes up into the top. And then it's just a very simple, basic liner from the inside. Now the other thing you'll note here is, again, you're going to see the channel cutouts on the inside. Would have loved to see just larger cutouts that run all the way to the top, all the way to the back. You can see those cutouts just kind of stop at that top spoiler. So again, the ventilation has been decreased a little bit over what we've seen for the previous version, but you're getting a much larger light profile, which really is what this helmet is really known for. So the SKWAL 2, basically, if you're looking for the too long did not read, you've got larger lights, and then you've got the new aerodynamic spoiler at the back, which just adds a more aggressive, sporty look to it. Everything else that we've really liked about the Shark has stayed the same, and unfortunately, some of the things that we didn't like, that little push button up there is a little bit harder to reach, have stayed the same as well. So what you're looking here is for about $260, $270, depending on the color you want to go with. You're getting a larger, brighter SKWAL helmet from Shark. So if you liked the lights before, there's even more to love now. If you want more information on this helmet and who's currently riding in it, what they have to say, click the info button. You can read other rider reviews. And if you have questions as to which helmet is right for you and your riding style, reach out to one of our gear geeks at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot an email over to cs@RevZilla.com. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the Shark SKWAL 2 helmet. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.